Welcome, everybody. Our next guest was pushed to the edge in 2012 when her 17-year-old son, Jordan Davis, was shot and killed at a gay gas station in Jacksonville, Florida, by a white man who believed the music Jordan and his friends were playing in their car was too loud. Her book, Standing Our Ground, is a moving memoir of a mother's loss turned into a call to action for gun reform. Let's see what's on the edge with Congresswoman Lucy McBath. Congresswoman McBath, thank you for joining us on The Edge. I want to get right into this, right? This is a conversation we've been having all way too often. Their families, you know exactly what they're feeling. You fight every day to honor the lives of those lost to gun violence, just as you're honoring the life of your son, Jordan. What do you say to those grieving who may believe that not enough is being done or nothing at all is being done to prevent this from happening?
Well, of course, there's never enough that you can say to those families that have lost their loved ones unnecessarily to this horrific gun violence. But what I would say to them is beyond thoughts and prayers, because, you know, our grieving families hear those kinds of things a lot. But I can honestly say that because I too am a victim myself, and I know every inch of what they're feeling and thinking, that I really, really do from my core offer them my thoughts and my prayers, because no one ever wants to ever experience this kind of pain and anguish. And what I want them to know is that I think it's most important, first and foremost, that they take care of themselves. It takes some time to process what has actually happened to your loved one. It's the shock. It's the pain, it's the anger, it's all of these things that you're feeling all at the same time. And it is very, very difficult to be able to kind of make your way through, mitigate your way through all of these feelings that you're having all at the same time. You go in and out of one phase of an emotion or another. But what I would say to them is that they must take care of themselves. Self-preservation at this point for themselves and their family is extremely critical. They must bond together as a family unit, make the provisions that they need to make for their loved ones, and just really grieve. Grieving is such an important and vital process that they have to go through, and not allow anyone outside of their closest circle to make demands of them. Because no one ever wants to go through anything like this. And oftentimes we never expect we will have this kind of tragedy in our family, you know, with our loved ones. And so the most important thing that they can do is to really take time to stay connected, tethered to one another, love on each other, be patient with one another, and just give all the support that you can to each other, and helping each other get through this really horrific time.
I will say, Congresswoman, that it's a collective effort in the political system to make that grieving a little bit easier. And you've had pretty good success with your Republican colleagues, but passing laws, that is. But when it comes to gun reform, there seems to be a blockage. What do you think needs to be done to make a significant change on an issue that impacts many, no matter what side of the fence you're on?
I think that it's important on every issue that we try as hard as we can to always reach across the aisle. And that's what I've continued to do. What I recognize is that there's not one individual entity or organization or person that makes the change, that collectively it is done by amassing the strength and power of many individuals. And it is a slow process. It's an evolution. It does not happen overnight. And I think that we have to keep fighting, because we have to keep fighting. Gun violence in America is a public health crisis. We have to look at it that way. And so as every culture in the country that we have worked to change, movement building, organizing, that happens grassroots and also from policy standpoint, federal laws, state and local laws. But that means grafting in people that are even on the other side of the fence, grafting in survivors and and law enforcement and the business community and educators and other survivors and gun violence prevention organizations, grafting all of them in to make sure that we are creating the most holistic way that we can to change the culture and get across the finish line and making sure that we're saving lives.
That finish line and saving lives is the key, right? So I want to take you back to the beginning of the year for a moment. And you were quoted as saying, calling the Georgia as the new South. Georgia voters overwhelmingly flipped the script, turning the state red to blue. Recently, the Georgia governor passed into law severe, sweeping voter restrictions. Are we on the edge of going back to the old South? And how do you keep Georgia voters engaged and committed to the voting process if these voter restrictions are not overturned?
Well, first I have to say, we're not going back. I think what they've done is just really, really put a fire under the minority community now. And they won't allow anyone to dictate or anyone to prevent them their ability to exercise their right to vote. And I can't wait to see us come out in bigger numbers than we ever even came out before. I believe the minority community, in particular here in Georgia, will now act as if they've never, ever had an opportunity to vote. People are going to expect to stand in long lines. I think what they've done is that they have angered and made people feel that you are not going to deny me my right, my democratic right, my constitutional right to say what's important to me, to say what I want in my community, to say who I want to represent in my politics, to say who my leaders are, to say what policies and what political agenda is important for me and my community, for us to thrive, for my future generations. I'm looking forward to it because people will continue to be energized and push towards those polling locations no matter what, and their voices will not be denied.
That's good. That's like the sleeping giant has been awakened, right?
Exactly.
Before we go, I want to just lighten this up for just a quick moment and ask you this final question. I love to fly. I love flying, and I love it even more when the flight attendant puts a little creative edge on that boring but necessary safety message. So, and I know that you're a former flight attendant, so I'm putting you on the spot here, right? I want you to give me your creative, edgy safety message. Go.
Oh my goodness.
I'm putting you on the spot.
That's funny. I mean, I was very good at a safety message, and I really did that work for a very, very long time. When you're on the plane, it's just really important that, you let people know and understand how important it is for you to be there and that you care about their safety. And what I would just say is that your safety and comfort is my job. This is why I'm here for you. So, but I need your compliance, and I'll give you the best of everything I can to keep you safe. But I can't give you everything that you want. But I'm here to serve you and make sure that you get from point A to point B safely. So please comply and have a good day.
That's good. I like that. I would listen to that safety message. I know I put you on the spot there, so thank you for complying. So Congresswoman, thank you so much for your dedication, your commitment to fighting for us, our country, and our children. So blessings to you and continue your good work.
You too as well. The same to you.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless.
I have to say thank you to the Grand Bohemian Hotel in downtown Orlando. It is an amazing hotel. If you have not had a chance to check in for a weekend stay or for relaxation staycation, you don't want to miss it.